Hi, anyone and everyone. This is Kim, the Humble Hermit from Come As You Are Oracle. I'm going to do the collective for today. Today is Saturday, April 12th, 2025. You may follow me on the book, the talk, the tube, the lemonade, the blue sky social, the fan base, the Insta, the Pinterest, or not. Totally up to you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it doesn't fit, don't make it fit. If some of it fits, that's fabulous. We love that for you. Whatever does not, please just leave it on the table for someone else. We don't want you taking on energy that wasn't meant for you. Look at that little devil. Look at that little devil. That's Homer. Hey, baby. Hi. Look at how cute he is. He's the sweetest. My orange baby. We're going to use Spill Tea deck. I think it's supposed to be like the off-brand of, what is it, Spill the Tea? Because it's very similar, but not exact. Cards are a little bit different. Wording's different. I think I paid $17 for it on Amazon. I'm still trying not to order from Amazon, as I'm telling you, I've cut back. I know I've cut back because I usually get a package like every other day. Jeff Bezos is probably suffering, I'm not gonna lie. Just from me not ordering. We got 3 on the table. Oh, baby. Oh. We got 4 on the table. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. Okay, hold on. That one, no. We got 8 on the table. Let's do one more shuffle. What is it, babe? I was gonna do more readings today. I just can't. I feel like I feel so tired. And I was doing things today. I was putting up my cameras and stuff. My 2 new cameras. I bought stands for them to hang them on the wall in the garage and in here. I think I'm gonna get one for my bedroom. But I'm just like, I hung another hook outside off my patio so that I could hang another wind chime that I ordered. I'm tired. I've done nothing. I've done nothing all day. Nothing. That was nothing. That was the first one. Like, it took me a minute to figure it out. So it took me like maybe 20 minutes, maybe half an hour, 20 to half an hour. It took me 10 minutes to do the one in the garage. And it took me 10 minutes to do the hook on the deck. It felt like it took 3 days. It felt like I feel like my energy has been zapped clear out of me. Like, I was supposed to go to the antique show today. This morning I was like, yeah, it's not happening. It's not happening. And then Roy Colson is having his book signing for the Harmony Hustle today. um, at the Zion Benton Moose Lodge in I think Zion, Illinois. I never looked up the address because this morning I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna go. Like I can't. I can't function. I can't think. I didn't ever finish the book because I was too tired yesterday. Like this morning, I haven't read any of it this morning. I take that back. I think I read like a page and a half, maybe. Y'all, I, uh, uh, we got Love Triangle, we got Unfiltered Truth, and I was watching a reading this morning while I was making my breakfast, and they're like, "Oh, you're probably going through like an upgrade, like another spiritual awakening. It's gonna be really painful." I'm like, is this what this is?" I'm like, if that's what this is, I said, this is not painful. This is just really tiring. Like, I'm tired. Okay, Love Triangle, Unfiltered Truth, Keeping Up Appearances, Mixed Signals. Like, I'm going to do the 2 readings for the day, and I'm probably going to go take a nap. I'm not even lying. Pushing Boundaries, Push and Pull. We got Jealousy Issues, Mind Games, and bottom of the deck, Quiet Contentment. 9 cards on the table. With bottom of the deck, feminine, masculine, take how it resonates. It doesn't matter. So you might have been in a love triangle and didn't know about it, or you were in a love triangle and you did know about it. You guys know my story about the ex-best friend and the guy, about me believing that they tried to put me in a polyamorous without even telling me, with my best friend who, hello, 30 years. Have I ever told you I was in love with you? That I wanted to sleep with you? No. No. You're my best friend. Why would I do that? Would never do that in my right mind. Ever. Let alone get into a poly with them. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I actually was talking about this with my friend, not this past week, but the week before at work. We were packing across from each other, and she said something about threesomes. And I said, I've never been in one. I said, but if I was going to be in one, I would have to be with two strangers. I don't want to ever see those people again. I sure as hell would not do that with an ex-best friend and their secret lover. Would never do that. Strangers, sure. Like, let me, go to the library and meet 2 consenting adults. I'm not going to go to a bar. I don't drink. I mean, I guess I could. I'll just get, like, a root beer or something. Or a bag of chips. Or nuts. They do free nuts, right? Do they still do free nuts? Probably not. It's too expensive. So, if you didn't know about this love triangle that you were involved in, someone is coming in to tell you. And if you were involved in a love triangle and you did know about it, I think the unfiltered truth is just you realizing, like, oh my God, I'm in the middle of a love triangle. And obviously, everybody's situation will be different, but it could be something like, you start dating someone and then you realize that they're already with somebody and you're in some type of love triangle. Now, it could be a situation like mine where you get involved with somebody thinking that they're single and then you realize they're not. They're with somebody and both of them want to be with you. There is always that possibility. Take how it resonates. Whoever these people are, these are people that they're with the keeping up appearances, like they don't want anybody to know what they're doing. So if it was just one person that you were with and they were cheating on their other person, like they don't want anybody to know. They don't want you to know. They don't want the other person to know. They don't want anybody to know. Like, oh, I'm perfect. Like, nothing can touch me. No, they're doing like weird, kinky shit in the background and they don't want to get called out for it. Here's my thing, and I say this all the time, you do whatever you want to do. But when it comes down to it, be fucking honest about it. You know? Like with me and the ex best friend, she could have been like, hey, would you be interested in this? And I would have been like, no. And then she could have moved along and found somebody that would be. You know what I mean? Why would you try and lie and steer somebody in a direction knowing that just the fact that you're lying about it, like at the end of the day, I'm not going to be okay with that. Like now you're just a liar. Forget about the whole sexting. Sexting. Like you're a liar. You're my best friend and you are lying. You lied to my face. Do you think we're still going to be best friends? Haven't talked to you in 2 years. I mean, seriously, I've said this before. Be honest about what you want and what you're looking for in a relationship, or if you don't want a relationship. I was talking about this, was it yesterday or Thursday, when I was mentioning the guy from 2023 that swung back around 2 months ago, and he's still with his girlfriend, but he thought I was going to be his side piece. And I came right out and told him that's not happening. We can be friends if you want to be friends, but I'm not that girl. I was not that girl in 2023. I would not have knowingly gotten into a relationship with another person if I thought that they were with someone else. I would not have done that. The fact that he thought I was going to be his little side piece, I was like, no, absolutely not. And then I said to him, it was one of our last, I don't know if it was the last conversation, it might have been, or one of the last. I said to him, if you want a side piece, you can find a woman out there that will be your side piece. There's plenty of women that do that don't care. They're just looking for some extra fun on the side, whether they're with someone or not. Like they won't care if you are. There are women out there. And I told him, I said, go find one. Like just be honest about what you want and what you're looking for, and you will find someone. It's not hard. There's all kinds of people out there looking for. When I was on, not so much last year, when I was on there from like June to, I officially got off on, I deleted my account in November of last year, but I wasn't on there hardly at all between June and November. OkCupid. There were plenty of times, the first time I was on there, when I was with the guy that I was just talking about, when I was with him in 2023, from January to July, or February to July, when I was quote unquote dating, and I was on the website January and February, there were plenty of couples that saw that I had posted on there that I was bisexual. There were plenty of married couples that reached out to me that were looking for thirds. They were looking for a girlfriend, like a permanent girlfriend. And here's the thing. Again, like I would do threesome, but it would be with strangers. And I would never make it a permanent thing. Because then I feel like once you do that, like feelings start to get involved, things like that. So I would not do that. And there were two, I think, that actually messaged me, two couples that actually messaged me, and I messaged them back and I said, I'm not interested, but thank you. Thank you for reaching out. I said, I hope you find who you're looking for. Because again, they were honest. They're like, hey, we're happily married. We love each other. We're together, but we want someone to play with. And I was honest. I'm not that girl for you. That's not that hard. That's not that hard. Whoever these people are, they're not like that. These are, where is it? They play mind games. Or one of them does. They're giving off mixed signals, right? Because they're telling you, like, oh, I'm not in a relationship. Oh, I don't have another person. Oh, we're not together. These two people, they're like, we're not together. Like, come on. Like, oh, I just, I'm just looking, yeah, I'm looking for a girlfriend, even though they have a girlfriend sitting at home. Oh, yeah, I'm looking for a girlfriend and I hope to get married one day, even though they have a wife sitting at home and they're both expecting you to come back to the house with him or her or whatever. And for those of you that have never had this type of situation happen, just so you know, this is pretty common. Like, this happens a lot out there. I'm just gonna tell you, there are some kinky things going on out there. I don't want to call people like names or anything because, again, if you're into what you're into, that's your business. As long as you're not hurting yourself or anybody else, I don't really see what the problem is. But there's a lot of crazy shit out there. I don't think people realize, like, the magnitude, the scope. And I personally think it just comes from decades and decades and decades, centuries of people being told that things are wrong, things are bad. As long as you're consenting, as long as you understand what you're getting into, as long as you're not going to hurt yourself or somebody else, I don't really see what the problem is. Bubbles, go on. Go on. Thank you, baby. Like, I wouldn't have anything to say about it. You live your life the way you want to live your life, and I'm going to live my life the way I want to live my life. It's pretty simple. It's just like when we talk about human rights. Like, I'm not going to infringe upon your rights, don't infringe upon mine. Right? Was that like a hair or a feather? What was that? I know it was Bubbles' hair. I bet you it was Bubbles' hair. Whoever this person or these two people are, whether it's two people working together or not, pushing boundaries. And this is when they test you. Like, oh, what are you interested in? Like, would you do this? Would you do that? Who would you do that with? Push and pull. This is someone, like, giving you their energy freely. Like, oh yeah, let's spend time together. Let's hang out. Let's be a couple. And then, like, a day later, like, oh, I don't really, maybe we need to take a step back. And then a week later, like, hey, I really miss you. Like, can we get together? And then 2 days later, like, oh, I have too much to do. I don't have time for you. And there's variances in there, right? Because everybody has their own life. So if you're just getting into a relationship and it's not necessarily like committed yet, you might not invest as much time. But you'd want to, right? Like, if you like someone, typically you want to spend time with them. So if you're with another person and they're like, oh yeah, I really like you, da 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 da, but then they for some reason fall off occasionally and they're not there and you can't find them and you can't get in touch with them, that's a red flag. Or vice versa. If it's you doing that to someone else, just know that that person is going to realize that's a red flag. Like, that's going to be suspicious. Whole kit and caboodle of issues go along with polyamorous love triangle, whatever you want to call it. Threesomes, third parties, consensual third parties, whatever. A whole lot of issues go along with that. And that's the thing too, right? Like, that's the whole reason why I would say, like, I wouldn't want to get into like a poly or a threesome with people I know, because I personally would never want to have that feeling of me feeling jealous of one or two of those people, you know? Like if I got together with Susie and Ted, and I realized that Ted likes Susie more than he likes me, like I never want to have to feel some type of way about that. Do you know? You know what I'm saying? I don't really, not to be mean or, whatever, but I don't really care about how they feel. I care about how I feel. I have to take care of myself first. So I would never want to put myself in that position where I would be like jealous. Because what's the point of that? That's a useless emotion. That emotion, that's not going to get you anywhere. And in these types of situations, those other two people would probably just feed off of it. It's an energy feast. Like, oh, you're jealous of Susie? Oh, you're jealous of Ted? It's not even worth it to put it out there. Quiet contentment. The card says simple companionship brings you peace and satisfaction. And maybe it's just me, but I got 2 months, less than 2 months, and I'm going to be 45, and I see a lot of people older than me that are still out there chasing tail, chasing dick, chasing pussy. Like, when is it going to get old for you? And I've been saying for how long? I'll be celibate technically June 8th, because that was the last time I had sex. 2 years ago, June 8th. That was my birthday. That is my birthday. Do I miss sex? Of course I do. Do I miss, like, the companionship? Do I miss having another person? Do I miss touchy feely, googly eyed BS? Yeah, of course I do. Um, but I like my quiet and my peace. And I would just never put up with any of this bullshit. This poly triangle bullshit. Like I said, the ex that swung around 2 months ago that wanted me to be the side piece, honey, you got the wrong girl. It's no. Uh-uh. Let's see, side piece or whole piece? Like, I'll take my whole piece. Push that to the side. Like, I like my peace and my quiet. And if that means I stay celibate for the rest of my life, I could care less. I mean, I would rather not. I would rather find somebody. But at the same time, like, I'm just not willing to, like, look at that. It's like hair everywhere. I'm just not willing to sacrifice anything that I need or want for myself. I'm just not. And I'm not going to put up with third parties. I'm not going to put up with spouses. I'm cheaters, liars. No. Mm-mm. Again, I'm 45. I feel as though I'm too old for that shit. If you're in your 50s and your 60s and that's what you're doing and you love doing it, more power to you. I hope you don't wake up at the age of 80 and wonder what the hell happened. But yeah, I have absolutely no interest. None. I had a friend of mine tell me a couple of weeks ago that she thought a friend of hers was kind of sex crazed because she had been dating somebody, but my friend found out that the woman that was dating somebody was apparently also sleeping around. Bubbles, get off the table. That's what she chose to do, and my friend was kind of being judgmental about it, and then literally turned around and said, well, I'm single, I can sleep with whoever I want. And I'm kind of looking at her like, but are you single? Because she's been with the same man for like 10 years or more. And granted, she only sees him like once a month, once every couple months. He comes in to visit. They stay at a hotel in the city. I mean, I have my opinions on it, but I'm not going to state it here. She has every right to do that. So why doesn't her friend have every right to sleep with somebody else, even if she's supposedly in a relationship with someone else? How can you judge her for that when you're doing the same thing? You're literally saying that you're single and you could sleep with whoever you want, but you've been with this man for 10 years. You're not really single. I'm just saying. But then again, maybe they have an understanding. Maybe he sees other women wherever he lives. And she knows, you know? They consider themselves single. But how does she know that her friend in her relationship with her man, how does she know that it wasn't the same thing? You know? And like I said, I don't understand that behavior. We're talking about people that are in their 50s. Like they're older than me. I can't imagine doing that at that age. Like I don't want to do that now at this age. I'm going to be 45. I don't want to do that. Can you imagine being in your 50s and doing that? I can't. I just can't. Saying I'm in a relationship with one person and fucking somebody else. And don't get me wrong, like I was with the ex-husband and I cheated on him. And I've said this before. What do you consider cheating? I was talking to other men and women outside of my marriage. That was cheating. I was a cheater. That was also 3 years ago. And I'm not in the same place I was then. I can't imagine. I just can't imagine it. Bubs, what are you crying about? Again, it wouldn't be for me to judge the ex-best friend and the guy. Like, if they hadn't involved me. Like, don't involve me in shenanigans. Why would you think your best friend would want to be involved in that? When they involved me enough to the point where I can lay judgment. Like, I have judgment. I'm going to judge. Right or wrong, I'm going to judge. And for me, it wasn't even so much the act of what was going on, it was the people involved. That's where the judgment comes in my situation. For you, it might be different. For you, you might be judging the actual situation and not the people. Because maybe you have no interest in threesomes or polyamorous. You never have, right? Maybe. And somebody asking you if you want to get involved in that, you could have been completely thrown off and been like, ew, I would never do that. And that's fine. Everybody has their own proclivities. Everybody has their own opinions, right? I don't see judgment so much here in the cards as I do just someone not interested. As someone that was left in the dark and they were uninterested. I think I'm going to leave it there. I think I've prattled on long enough about this type of situation, and Bub keeps looking at me for some reason. I hope it resonated for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope, if anything, you found it entertaining. I hope you all have a great day or evening wherever you are, and I will talk to you later. Bye.